Eerie, isn't it?
What the hell happened? Where's everyone?
Martial law. Riots in Gollum spilled over into Prague. The entire city's on lockdown. No one but state police allowed in the streets tonight. They've all got itchy trigger fingers.
Wonderful. Dr. Miller? Told him to meet me at the office?
He'll be waiting for you. Of course, you'll likely be shot getting there. Watch yourself out there, Jensen.
Alex, it's me. We need to meet.
You got a location? Because the streets aren't safe tonight, man.
Can you make it to the limb clinic where we met before?
Yeah, it's not far. I'll meet you there.
What's the matter? Getting cold feet?
Just curious about something. About what happened in the Alps.
I'm thinking the same thing. Though it's almost like they knew we were coming, isn't it?
We?
No need to mince words with me, Jensen. Say what you're really thinking.
They were ready for me, she came. And when I tried to reach you on comms...
Motherfucker. Are you saying I tipped him off?
Easy. I'm just trying to make sense of what happened.
Alright. Look, it might have been my fault. I thought I was careful, man, making the approach like I did, but after I dumped you off, I got picked up on radar. I got sloppy. Easy as that. Shit. Maybe I've lost the edge.
I don't think that's it at all. They knew we were coming the moment we lifted off from Prague. Not a lot of people knew we were going.
What? Miller?
I don't know. I don't really know who everyone is yet, who I can trust.
Listen. Miller would have preferred to send Mac and the strike team, so...
Forget it. I'm just tired. Not getting much rest lately.
Hey, look. I know it ain't easy finding your place. Believe me, I know what that's like. We're all on the same side here, alright? This task force is your family. And if you can't trust your family, man, you're lost.
Thanks, Chicane.
Anytime. Now do me a favor and try not to get your clank ass shot out there. Alright? Boss is waiting. I suggest you get a move on.
Don't know why he didn't listen.
Let's
see what we have. Fuck! Then why did he run?
What's the holdup?
So we killed a citizen.
The city's on lockdown. A true citizen would respect that. Get him in the truck.
I'm glad you're okay, Adam.
I brought you a present from the Alps. Compliments of Victor Marchenko. Be careful with it.
Is this the orchid?
Yeah. Marchenko tried to kill me with it, just like he did Rucker. Think you can get it analyzed?
Yeah, we got a couple of scientists on the Collective's mailing list. Some of them are already culling through the files you and Janus pulled from the bank. I'll let you know what they find. Oh, and we also ran a trace on that email you gave me, from Rucker. It originated from an unregistered pocket secretary in Hong Kong.
So we don't know who sent it?
Not yet. It's been shut off ever since. But we left a trace running, so if it lights up again, we'll know.
Good. Something big is coming, Alex. Ark's being framed for a terrorist attack that hasn't occurred yet.
They're gonna take more lives, blow up another train station? Jesus, Adam, look at it out there. Any chance we had of easing fears and fighting people's hatred will be gone. That piece of shit UN legislation will pass, and we'll all be thrown into AUG-only hellholes like Udalek.
While Nathaniel Brown sits back and earns trillions.
Brown? That slick suit from the Santo Corporation?
Page said Brown was calling the shots, and in Switzerland, Marchenko said Brown had confirmed date and time.
But where? Brown's been traveling extensively, promoting Rabia and his Safe Harbor initiative. His next junket's in London. But if he's behind this, he's not gonna attack himself.
Maybe not. Marchenko also mentioned someone who can tell us. But I have to meet with Miller first. How soon can you get the sample analyzed?
As fast as possible. If you're meeting with Miller, be careful. You walked into another ambush in Garm, and Miller's not off my suspect list yet.
We'll see.
Search.
Hey, what do you need? Sophisticated choice. Is that all the info you need? Excellent choice. I'm finished for the day. You've taken everything I had. Never thought this kind of duty would get boring. Fucking here? What the hell happened here? Where is it going to go?
Team.
You shouldn't be outside tonight, Adam. Prague is no longer safe.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm looking at a police barricade right now.
They will not let you pass. But I can help with that. I suggest you take cover.
Eliza, what do you have in mind? Something.
Now is your chance to get past them. Be careful, Adam. I do not want to lose you again.
Otar, it's Adam Jensen.
Mr. Jensen, to what do I owe the pleasure of this call?
You owe me a favor. I'm collecting.
Of course. You have been a very valuable associate, and I will be happy to reciprocate. But not overly involved.
Where? The casino?
The casino is closed tonight because of this ridiculous curfew. You will find me at the Valley Theater on Zagivatlan Street. The men will be told to expect you.
Násilí v komplexu útulek se šíří. Kvůli vlastní bezpečnosti nevycházejte ven.
You had the bear on you, mister. I had no idea how big. You do know there's a curfew on, right?
Thought I noticed a change in the clientele out there.
Yeah. Less snapshots, more pot shots. But management says the Red Queen stays open. And it don't pay to question management here. So, what'll it be?
Staying open during a lockdown seems like a recipe to lose money. Doesn't come off like a sound business decision.
Well, there have been some major changes in the, administration recently. Sort of sent shockwaves through the organization.
Sometimes when a deal goes wrong in upper management, it goes wrong in a hurry.
Yes, no one saw it coming.
Hostile takeover?
Something like that. I just hope that whoever fills the power vacuum doesn't decide to close this place.
I think your job is safe. There'll always be a demand for booze and flesh. You've got some loyal customers, risking a bullet for a drink and a screw.
Oh yeah? What are you risking it for?
It's probably better I don't tell you.
Right. Well, they've been here since before the lockdown. Some lost track of time while having fun. A few are locals with no other place to go. So, less loyal than desperate and scared.
Scared? Of the police or of the Gollum riots spreading to the rest of the city?
Please. You don't buy that shit any more than I do. The riots aren't coming anywhere near the city proper. This is just an excuse to clamp down a little tighter, you know? Keep us under control.
Actually, I think I'm gonna pass.
You change your mind, I'll be right here.
Place was a powder keg waiting to blow. Now look.
You, stop! What they do? On your knees. Now! Okay, don't shoot. No, just wait there.
What kind of freaks are coming out of there? Going in, Clank. No one will hurt you. Unless you do something stupid. Mr. Botcavelli is expecting you. Don't keep him waiting.
I am going to kill them! Do you even know why we're here? Attackers broke into our computer and stole the blueprint to this apartment! Someone is planning to rob us!
Yes, and anyone who brings you have to keep him out.
Probably not, but we rigged up a little surprise in case he tries again.
Like,
Could use a drink.
I don't want to.
Mr. Jensen, welcome to my theater.
Your theater. Are you the leader of the Diwali in Prague now?
Well, I was second in command, but then Raditz Nikolaidze met with an unfortunate accident.
Occupational hazard. Now about that favor you owe me.
With pleasure. Name it.
Viktor Marchenko. Radich was selling weapons to his terrorist group.
Yes. Of all the shameful things in Radich's life, assisting those animals was the worst. The last thing he did for them was smuggle weapons and supplies into London. They're going to attack Santo's Og thing at Apex Center.
The Safe Harbor Convention, why would they do that?
I do not waste time wondering about the motives of disgusting lunatics. You are planning to stop them. I wish you success.
Jensen, Chicane tells me you left his place ages ago. Where the hell are you?
Cashing in on a lead. I'll explain when I get there.
Make it quick. And if you happen to be in the Dabney district, Singh just sent us the location of a gin stash. A storage unit near Monument Station. We haven't had a chance to secure it yet because of the curfew. The password is 7326. Miller out.
shut up. Shut up, I said.
Toto je nouzové varování. Pro vaši vlastní bezpečnost byl vyhlášen zákaz vycházení. Je zakázán zdržovat se na ulicích. Opakuji, zákaz vycházení na ulici. Jedná se o dočasné pořádkové opatření. Dodržujte prosím zákaz vycházení.
Strasznie brzmi.
You bastard! Here's the right door. Over.
It's my fault. One should cooperate with the authorities.
On your knees! Shut up! I don't give a shit what you want. Hands behind your back!
This Walthrough is bullshit. Trust me, and it's metal, you know. You're nothing but evil. I need to get out of here.
You get off on this kind of thing? Then we do die slowly. That's what you said. How am I going to explain this to my mother?
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. The apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria!
Adam, it's David. We need to talk. In private.
Nothing's more private than my info link.
I'm not so sure. I've sent a secure vid call number to your smart home system. Get to your apartment and call me.
Adam Jensen.
Delara, what are you doing here?
Is that going to become our standard conversation starter?
I'm serious, Delara. It's dangerous outside. Non-essential staff should be home. How did you even get...
Ouch. Non-essential.
I just meant...
Work with me, Adam. I was trying for a little levity. Truth is, watching Picus News, hearing that the mobs were getting closer to the city, I was reminded of... Let's just say I thought being 3 stories below ground was better than staying in my apartment. So, I called in a favor and got state police to escort me in. Listen, I can tell something big is happening, so I don't want to keep you.
You doing okay, Delara?
Look, Adam, I didn't tell you why I left Lim International. That I was in session with a patient when the incident hit, and that I was...
You were attacked.
Her name was Madeline. She was 13. A really sweet kid. One minute we were talking, laughing actually, about something silly I'd said, and the next she was...
It was a terrible day. For everyone.
After I fought her off, she just stared at me like she was totally aware, you know, but not in control. God, Adam, I could see in her eyes that some part of her was still in there, locked away. And she was terrified.
Delara, I'm sure the girl...
Madeline. Her name was Madeline. You know the part that I'll never forget, though? The thing that keeps just replaying in my mind over and over? Right before she jumped out of my office window, I could swear she was crying.
Look, whatever happened, you're here now. You weathered the storm and came out on the other side stronger for it. That's what matters.
Yeah? Well, I don't feel so strong today. Anyways, being 3 stories below ground felt better than just sitting in my apartment, listening to the augment. I'm sorry. I
understand. But regardless of the reason, you took a risk coming back here. These are dangerous times for everyone.
You don't need to worry about me, Adam. I'll be fine. I'll just hunker down in my office until the storm passes. Besides, I hear I have a very comfortable couch.
Just take care of yourself.
I always do.
Hey, Adam. How'd you get here? I thought the city was locked down.
It's like a war zone out there.
The police scanners are going crazy. You didn't engage them again, did you?
I don't think you get what it's like out there, Arya. They're shooting everything that moves. Augmented people, homeless people. They're using this curfew as an excuse to kill the weak, and I stopped some of them.
I didn't mean... You're right, Adam. I wasn't out there. I was just cleared for active duty. I don't want anything to mess that up. I'll wait out the storm in here.
Whose unit are you assigned to for your next mission?
McCready's.
Really? I thought...
He actually recommended me. Told me I shoot better than anyone on his team.
That's great. Talk to you later, Arya.
Bye, Adam. See you out there.
All this because of one group.
No, you're wrong. They've gone too far. There's no reason to lock down the city.
It's not a lockdown, it's just a curfew.
I was outside and I saw cops with riot gear on. It seems like a lockdown to me.
The city doesn't want the riots involved.
Initiated. Access granted.
You know how many AUGs we still have in this city? Too damn many. What is your problem?
Roast in hell, Rucker. You started all of this.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted. Vigilante hackers tied to the Juggernaut Collective have crashed the Jensen stock exchange. Yes,
I'd be less nervous if we knew who did it.
This is a live.
TF-29 personnel do not have special dispensation. And certifications are temporarily nullified within the walls of Palisade.
I've got 3 separate reports that suggest ARC's next target is somewhere in the US.
What are we seeing here? I don't believe it. ARC knows Jensen got out of the Swiss Ops facility with some valuable intel, and they're playing up rumors to throw us off the trail.
Not bad.
Smiley, hanging in there?
Me? What about you? After your little recon mission, you come back to guns in the street. It's pretty bad out there. Any trouble getting around?
Oh, nothing I couldn't handle.
Well, at least you're positive. Wish I was right now. I've been combing through Dr. Tallis Rucker's autopsy report, and apparently the medical examiner found nothing. Can you believe that? Nothing. No poison, no bacteria or toxin of any kind was found in his system. Officially, the cause of death was inconclusive.
Inconclusive? I watched him die, and I know for a fact Marchenko did it. They must have found something.
That's just what I thought, so I got my hands on an earlier draft of the report. And while they were unsure of the cause, at least they knew the effect. An unidentified foreign agent started attacking protein strands, bending them out of shape.
And the body's immune system took it from there.
Exactly. First swelling in the cell walls, then more kinking and bending in neighboring cells. The effect propagated throughout the body, made its way to the brain, where it was game over. Do not pass go, do not collect 200 credits. And that speculation, as they called it, is not in the final coroner's report. As far as they're concerned, the case is closed.
But not for you, right?
There's an unknown substance that kills people in minutes. I want to know what it is. And I'm gonna find out. They've already blocked my request once, but I spoke to Miller and he told me Manderley would make a few calls and get things moving.
Okay, stick with it.
Don't worry about that. It'll take more than being stonewalled by state police to stop me. I'll let you know if anything else comes up.
Thanks, Smiley.
Talk to you later.
Our informants are informants because they have secrets.
Not safe out there. Not safe anywhere. You know, I was starting to think you got rounded up. My God, martial law, I heard it's pretty bad out there.
Bad enough. Don't go out if you don't have to.
Yeah, well, it's getting bad in here too. I've been going a little nuts. I mean, to tell you the truth, I'm not even sure who I can trust anymore.
What are you talking about, Chang?
You know I've been looking into Janus, right? Well, turns out Janus knows things about this place. About us. Things they could only know if... Information that could only come from inside.
You think Janus has a mole inside the task force? What makes you say that? What exactly have you found?
I can't tell you that, Jensen. I'm in charge of cybersecurity here. You really didn't think I wouldn't notice what's been going on? You've been poking into people's computers. You've been doing other things.
Do we have a problem, Chang?
Easy, Tiger. I'm not accusing you of anything. Yet. All I'm saying is, I'm a paranoid guy, Jensen. Right now, more than ever. If someone I work with is... I need to know these walls are safe.
Nowhere is safe. My job, my reason for being here, for doing whatever it is you think I'm doing, is to change that.
Are you saying I should keep this to myself for now?
I'm saying you should do what you think is right. Use the resources you have here to go after the people who deserve it. People who manipulate others, who do everything they can to hurt others. You really think that's me?
No, I don't, Jensen. Just be careful, all right? Make sure you know what you're doing.
I'm always careful, Chang.
Radish. Our CI got tagged for outstanding parking tickets? Our informants are informants because could be the start of a family war. Who gave that fucking order? You know what I heard? He got captured, escaped, and sneaked his way out of a heavily guarded facility. That's his idea of a recon mission. That's Jensen. He's a hands-on kind of guy. He's also got a bit of a problem with authority.
I understand. Jensen, thank God. I was starting to get worried.
That I wouldn't make it in here, or that I actually would?
What? I've been on the phone for the last half hour, trying to guarantee your safe passage through this city. Whatever you stumbled into at Garm is big.
I know. I've been trying to find out how big for a long time. They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the Gold Mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
When I left here, you, me, and Chicane were the only ones who knew what I'd discovered. Solid proof that someone other than Ark was involved in this. But you and your bosses have been trying to pin everything on them, right from the start.
You're out of line, Jensen. I sent you after Ark because there were viable suspects in the train station attack.
And because Manderley ordered you to do it.
Yes, he ordered me to do it, but unlike him, I will not ignore evidence to close a case. You've been nothing but an insubordinate cock-up since Manderley put you into this unit.
Manderley?
It was his signature on the transfer papers. I checked. I can't believe we're arguing over this. Not when we need to focus. Chicane debriefed me while you were flying back. Leon sent in a strike team. Got there about an hour after you two slipped out.
And the mercs were gone.
Did a pretty good job of trashing the place before bugging out, and left a few booby traps behind. So we have no idea where they went or what they're planning next.
Actually, that's not completely true. They're headed to London to attack Apex Center during Nathaniel Brown's Safe Harbor Convention.
What? Why didn't you lead with that?
I had a few things to get off my chest, and I haven't had much sleep lately.
Then go home. Hit the showers and rest up.
I'll contact you when we're ready to mobilize. MacCready, assemble the team. Yes, I know there's a curfew. I'm working on it.
If passed,
You do understand we are trying to stop terrorists here.
Be advised, TF-29 personnel do not have special dispensation during this curfew. Damn fine work,
Alex, the attack is in London. The Diwali agreed to smuggle weapons and the Orchid into the Safe Harbor Convention.
Fuck, man, do you know how many people are gonna be there? We gotta warn Brown, convince him to call it off.
Brown? Last time we spoke, he was behind all this.
No, I've been digging into him. Brown needs to stop the Human Restoration Act. He's their target.
All right, get to my apartment. Explain it to me there.
Human presence detected. Engaging smart home system.
Obavám z šířících se nepokojů byli zástupci města nuceni v celém městě vyhlásit zákaz vycházení. Dbejte pokynů příslušníků státní policie.
You have credits? Usually you people with the robot arms and legs have no credits.
No, you got a real way with people. What's on the menu?
Menu? No, not food. Guns and things. You want?
I have no time for this. You look. Why you're not buying?
Maybe later.
Fucking clanks.
Human rights for all, regardless of augmented status.
Come on in.
That was stunning.
possible activity?
Oh, you're somewhere.
Můžete mě držet na pořád.
Just wait it out in here.
Dawes is the man. He'll set you up.
You need a pick? You want Praxis, eh? Biocell, hypostim, painkillers?
I might be interested.
They sell these things.
Yeah, I got that.
Buy something. Stop wasting my time.
I'll be on my way.
Poliatsky Lubki.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, the killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela Gunn.
So it's the same person doing all this, and we still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, he's supposed to be dead. Yet this killer seems to... little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. What about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria called me. She said she was in trouble. She said he was here. When she got cut off, is she in there?
I wouldn't know. I knocked and no one answered. I've been worried about her. So she called you, huh?
You know how she feels about cops.
Right. Look, you're not supposed to be outside tonight. I'll take a look around the building. You see if you can find a way inside. Hopefully we're not too late. Just try not to get caught, eh?
I won't.
Resolution 3507. The Human Restoration Act. Making mechanically augmented people safe. This is Alexa, reporting to you live.
Prague is turning into a town of records. The people behind them have all gone. Now there's even bureaucracy for fleeing the country. Going to overrun the city.
It started as a reaction to the way things were. There's an ideal there that certain kinds of people are more easily drawn to. We were easy to persuade.
I recognize you.
Irenka Bauer. Thought we activated your permit.
You did. Whatever you did, it was enough to fool them. You kept us out of Golem. We will never forget that.
But now you're hiding again.
Martial law has changed everything. They say it is to keep us off the streets, but it is worse than that. They go into our homes, accuse us of being people we are not. Permits do not matter anymore.
How did you know to come here?
Helena heard a message on the radio. It was warning people, saying the city is not safe anymore. She saw the police go into someone's home. The man. He was showing them his permit, but the officer... he did not even look at it. He just... Helena could see that the warnings were true. That people like Irenka must run away. So we start to go underground. We start to find others.
When society wants to make things hard for someone, it eventually finds a way. I'm sorry it came to this, Irenka.
Don't be. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have made it this far. We wouldn't have met all these people. Everyone is working together. Together we will find a way out of here.
I hope so.
We just want to get home. Call Doc.
Milena, you didn't take my advice about giving up on forgery.
I know. But trouble is, I've got a talent for it. And it's a real growth market. As soon as you got me out of that thing with Dragomir, I had like 20 emails from Samizdat. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for art school graduates to find a specialist subject these days?
The permits aren't enough for police anymore, forged or real.
In Prague, maybe. But it turns out I'm multilingual when it comes to falsifying border passes. Lucky, right?
If it works, I'd say lucky.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Super Commando Man. Oh, don't mention it, Milena. If there was an easier option, you think we wouldn't take it? I was less stressed out when I was working at gunpoint.
We may not agree on your methods, but I'll let you get back to your work.
Coming from you, that is like the gold star seal of approval. Augmented or non-augmented?
It is getting more and more difficult to hide.
Welcome to the Underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your info link.
Yeah, it's a sore point after what happened a couple of years ago. Maybe you saw the news.
Please understand, it was the biggest risk I could take. All Samizdat's communications are bugged. The police raided the offices last night, cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
So are you running a resistance cell here or a campaign room?
Why not both? Now Samizdat has a captive voter base we could run for the Senate.
It's organized resistance then.
Peaceful resistance. We're working together to get people under the cordon and out of Prague. It's a happy accident of a police state. Well, I say happy when everyone's repressed, they can see past their prejudices.
Or they shift the blame. It's gonna take a long time for those prejudices to heal.
As long as certain people can profit from keeping the wounds fresh. But you knew that already.
This isn't what I call laying low. Aren't you afraid the police will find you again, finish what they started?
They already got the cake. Bones, the backup servers, even the shitty coffee machine. Enough for them to call it a win and get back to indiscriminate brutality on the streets.
Where were you when this happened?
Right here. Running our little home away from home. Our sources tipped us off about the martial law. Either we could write about it and throw our hands up. Boy, I sure hope this massive rights violation doesn't end up being too awful this time. Or we could enact a readiness plan and really do something.
Yeah, when we first met, I called you pamphleteers. I guess I should apologize.
Oh no, we were pamphleteers. Now we're pamphleteers, jury rigging an underground railroad.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat Manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek. Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights, plausible deniability.
You must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes. By the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, takes them across the plaza to the Ineda cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom.
I recognize you.
We'll have to borrow more trucks. Can we get back into the city trash people tonight?
This is not good.
Maybe we should consider freight rates.
You don't know where those trains have been. I don't either, but we highly radioactive.
Tatiana's unit's been sent into quarantine.
martial law business means.
With all these optimizations, it's gonna take an army to bring you down. Unfortunately, there's an army of police out there right now. Be careful outside. Nightfall. Bunch of cooperating.
locking us up so you can play bad cop, worse cop, huh? What do you think this
Our
is,
old
the
military-industrial
1980s?
friend.
Like those old documentaries?
I remember
The
you.
journalists aren't the revolution,
We have
man.
the
We're
freest
just
one
all
time.
spreading the message. And the message is still out there. It's on the streets.
Did they
It's
send
over the
you to
airwaves.
get me
It's
out?
spreading online. It even got into Facebook. No fucking support, huh? And you're thinking you're fighting for the wrong team. Well, that's a good start, man. First, you have to see that your things are being pulled by crooked politicians and big corporates. Then you can stop dancing for it. And you know what would be another good start? Letting us post bail, fascist assholes!
Access granted.
The press wants to be free! You! I knew it, man! I knew you were one of them all along!
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a Freedom of Information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Sam's dad.
She cares about you, Yarrick. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote The Wheels Come Off 16 years ago and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the grey aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
If she wrote the book,
I don't believe in authorial intent.
I might have known you wouldn't keep your heads down during the riots.
This is what a radical news source lives for, man! Lives and dies for! But the helmets on the streets, the extreme peacekeeping, that's not about the Golem riots. How are the Augs gonna get over here? Carpool? No. Someone, somewhere wanted the cops to clean house in Prague. And this is just the beginning. What if they could call martial law anywhere, anytime? Cops without borders.
That's your prediction, huh?
You can take it to the bank, man. The Palisade Property Bank.
I warned you about picking a fight with Picus. They've got a lot invested in protecting the message.
Would I be talking to you now if Picus had got to us? I mean, does Eliza Kassan have a sense of humor? All those bombs going off lately. What's one more in the sewers? BTW? Those are all rhetorical questions.
You don't say.
But they're trying, man. Bones heard the cops talking about extraordinary rendition. What a wonderful, connected world we live in, when they can pin an acronym on you, ARC, NSF, who gives a rat's ass, and ship you off to a black site on the UN's credits.
Just how many states are you an enemy of?
All the corporate ones.
You told me you were a liability to Samizdat. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my darknet proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, Little K shouldn't have sent you. Samizdat has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Samizdat is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further than you planned for. You want to fall on your sword, there's a better place to do it than in a holding cell.
Whoa, whoa, you know I use the term liability real broadly.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners? Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
Let me go. I need to get out of here.
Different angle. It's all angle.
Nouzové hlášení.
We should stay to...
Policie má příkaz zatknout každého, kdo poruší zákaz vycházení. Nevycházejte prosím na ulici.
Need a stronger lead.
Long live Sam.
You got that piece done yet?
What were you saying?
My God, martial law, curfews, people being jailed for no reason. It reminds me of Warsaw 1982.
Warsaw didn't have drones.
Now what? Do you think we are safe here?
You are for now, but you can't risk going back outside. There's a group organizing underground. They're doing everything they can to create a refuge to get people out.
These men, they are part of this group?
That's right. I know how much it meant to you to stay in Prague, Edward, but things aren't going to get any better. If there was ever a time to leave, this is it. If you wait here, Kay's people will come for you. They'll do everything they can to help.
I think I have no choice now. I will wait here. I will cooperate. Thank you for everything you've done.
Good luck, Edward.
I cannot believe we made it.
Yes! Exit plans, man! Exit plans! Always be making them! We worked this contingency plan out when we started Samizdat. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you want to come along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Kazdi, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now.
Just be quiet. Do not provoke.
We have no business together. What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
We both know why I'm here. We can take the scenic route if you want, but if something happens to her because you felt the need to bullshit me...
Just tell the lawyers I'm doing the best I can here. If they were going to send someone, they should have told me. We could have coordinated.
The lawyers, huh? You really need to start filling in the blanks. What was your involvement with Daria? Why did you need her to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Tai Yong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project. The cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
How exactly did you make people better?
We found a way to isolate specific character traits. The idea was to use neural implants with imprints of desirable traits from select individuals and insert them into others who were, how should I say, less gifted. Take a man like yourself, for example. Would have given you a sense of humor.
I'm funny enough as it is. Now how about you tell me what went wrong? Something obviously did.
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Tai Yong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I guess I'll just forward that email you wrote to her to the police. Or maybe straight to the media. We'll let them make sense of your involvement in all this.
You sure you don't work for Tai Yong Medical? That's exactly what they said. That I would be made the center of a show trial if it came to light.
If what came to light?
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Tai Yong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Tai Yong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
Your test subject's been murdering people all over Prague. Maybe you'll be next.
What? She didn't actually mention me, did she?
Is that all you care about? Your own skin?
It's not all I care about. but it's a very high priority.
Then let's put it this way. She's not the only one you need to be scared of right now.
All right. Look, we obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know...
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
I know there's a keyword that can shut down the chip. I read about it in your notes. Why would you try to keep that from me?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her. We have no business together. You must find a way to deal with Daria.
What a shame.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Sipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Sipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely, whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic words.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Augs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul, victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
Svobodka didn't have a cause. He was a serial killer, acting out on impulses that he tried to couch in spiritual rhetoric. A way of convincing himself that his actions were justified, but they weren't. No amount of faith or abstraction makes it okay to dehumanize people the way he did.
No. No, it doesn't. But so what if you're right? So what that Svobodka's motivations cannot stand up to scrutiny? His actions, my actions, cannot be justified. Where does that leave me? If those others did not deserve to die, then I deserve to die.
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Sipra and Tai Yun.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Sipra and Tai Yun Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Taiyong Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Sipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Taiyong Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear to you.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story.
Keep your head down. Don't do it.
We got it wrong, Adam. Brown's financial prospects aren't as rosy as we thought. He stands to lose trillions if the Human Restoration Act passes.
That doesn't make any sense. Millions of displaced Augs will flock to Rabia.
And the city can't support them. Brown's been selling investors a pumped-up dream. The corporate city-state where like-minded individuals govern themselves while investors reap the profits.
Kinda goes against the idea of a one-world government.
Yeah, and if it fails, so does Brown, the Santo Group, and anyone else standing in the Illuminati's way.
So they want to kill a competing dream and get rid of their augmented problem in one fell swoop. I take it Brown's been campaigning against the act?
And unlike Rucker, he's got the money and influence to stop it.
What about the orchid sample I gave you? Marchenko's smuggling more of it into London. Were you able to analyze it?
Believe it or not, it's not a bioweapon, or at least it's not meant to be one. It's a genome editing drug. It targets the gene linked to AUG rejection and deletes it.
AUG rejection? Must be why I survived. I don't suffer from rejection syndrome.
What? Are you telling me you don't need neuropazine? Shit, man, that makes you...
1 in a billion, I know. The Orchid, Alex. You said it's not meant to be a bioweapon.
Right. The files you and Janus got from the vault, they suggest Reed's team isn't finished making the Orchid yet. It's supposed to replace the deleted gene with an artificial one that accepts augmentations. But until they do, it's deadly. Darknet posted pictures of Rucker's corpse. If Brown and all his elegant fancy potential investors get dosed, and Picus News broadcasts images of them, it's gonna send a message.
I'd better warn Miller. You can stay here if you want, till the curfew's lifted.
I can take care of myself. But when the task force hits London, keep me in the loop. Not sure what I can do, but... good luck, Adam. And be safe.
Miller, it's Jensen. Is McCready still working on that plan for London? Because there's another variable to consider.
You can brief him yourself at TF-29's airfield. We're mobilizing.
Copy that. How do I get there?
Damn curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place, he'll fly you to it. Miller out.
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure VidCall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new augs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Are you suggesting all my augs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you all the augs we ever installed had registry codes. And they're not hard to trace.
I know my augs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these augs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orlov?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orlov is McFadden, and McFadden is Orlov. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the augs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
I found a set of Orlov schematics in a secret military facility in the Swiss Alps. The mercs there had the same augments as me. Do you think I could have been there?
A secret military base in Switzerland? It's kind of far from the Arctic, but...
But what?
When Panchaea collapsed, the original search and rescue mission was reclassified as a recovery operation after 7 days.
Meaning they weren't expecting to find any more survivors.
A few days after that, a unit of soldiers who were never publicly identified intervened. I think that's who found you.
They pull me out of the ocean, take me somewhere, and a year later, Orlov and I show up in Alaska.
Maybe. Listen, son, there's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. I've gone as far as I can take you. Orlov might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Sarif.
Remain calm. I'm sure supplies will arrive. o zákazu vycházení. Násilí
Miller's not here yet?
He's already left for the main hangars with McCready's team. We're supposed to rendezvous with them there. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.